told me that.
Since Wilbur's wife had already died, Alnita assumes the estate will be inherited by Wilbur's remaining siblings.
He told me he made up his will. It was for the family trust. That's what it was named.
In a trust, a family member is usually given the power to distribute the estate to the heirs without going through expensive court proceedings. Gary Spikuza is a specialist in estate planning.
A trust avoids the probate court system and is a private disposition of your property rather than a public one through the probate court system.
In his trust, Wilbur authorizes 3 people to look after the distribution of his assets: Alnita, Wilbur's stepdaughter Dolores, and a cousin, Joanne.
I believe Mr. Robinson did the exact correct thing by having 3 successor trustees with undoubtedly a majority before any decisions were made. Then you have everybody looking over everybody's shoulder and make sure everything is done correctly.
Dolores also lives in Seattle. When visiting Wilbur in LA, she had seen the trust paperwork for herself.
He had left me alone, and then so much for other close friends of his, but his sister was the beneficiary. Everything would be done at her discretion.
Wilbur's trust is worth several $100,000.
Hello? Huh?
He had all kinds of coins.
Y'all ain't gonna never be shit. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and tell Isis to come get me.
Okay, alright.
On February 9th, 1996, Wilbur Robinson was laid to rest.
I made arrangements for his funeral. He was buried at a cemetery there in LA. It's called Riverside for veterans. He had retired from Navy for 25 years. They gave me Wilbur's flag.
After the funeral, Dolores, Wilbur's stepdaughter, went directly to the homes of Wilbur's home.
Looked around. His nephew, they were there. He had pictures on the wall. He had paintings. His sister, her husband, and I were all sitting there watching him. You never expect to see anything like that. And it was an eye-opener.
Husband, stepfather, and brother, Wilbur was a lively and eccentric presence in the Robinson family.
Everybody just loved him. He was a friendly person. And he loved to garden. He lived out in the outskirts of Los Angeles. So he had chickens and turkeys and all kind of stuff like that. He just lived like a slob. But I loved him. He was still my brother.
15 years younger than his wife, Wilbur was roughly the same age as his stepdaughter, Dolores.
I liked him. I thought he was very flamboyant. But he was one of his persons. Had a lot of fun with him. He would do anything for you. He'd do anything, even if you didn't know you needed it, he would do that for you too. But like I told him, I said, as long as you made my mother happy, That is all that I cared about.
At the age of 72, Wilbur's lifelong smoking habit caught up with him.
I called him and I asked him how he was doing. I said, I haven't heard from you. He said, well, I've been in the hospital. And I said, why didn't you call me? He said, I didn't want to worry you. I said, was everything okay? And he said, well, I might just get tested. That's when he told me he had lung cancer. And I just broke down crying.
As the cancer developed, Dolores kept a close eye on Wilbur's progress.
He dealt with it very well. And up until about maybe 4 months, and he took a turn for the worse.
He couldn't take care of himself. But I found that out when I went to California. He always, like, he was fine. But it wasn't. And he drinks a lot. He had a lot of drinking friends.
As Wilbur's health declined, professional caregivers were hired to look after him.
He had caregivers, and the ones that I met were just wonderful people, but very good people. And then he had a neighbor next door that was very good to him.
Everyone around Wilbur noticed that his mind was beginning to deteriorate.
He did get confused somewhat. You know, that's to be expected, you know, that was going to happen. The caregiver was there, and she asked me, did I want some coffee? I said, yes, I'd like a cup of coffee. And he called me Francis, that's my mom. And I said, no, honey, it's Dolores. And I went in and sat down next to him. He said, when did you get here? I thought I heard Francis. I said, no, it's not.
Luckily, Wilbur was prepared. With the help of his lawyer, he had already drawn up both a will and the papers to establish the family trust.
He did tell me about the will, and he took it out and showed it to me. And basically, you know, when a person makes a will, you're supposed to honor it. And as far as I knew, like he told me, you're not going to have to worry. That wasn't the point. The point for all of us was giving him back the right on his feet again. But we knew Wilbur was very ill. We knew he was very, very ill.
And increasingly vulnerable to outside influence.
He's a very trusting person. A very trusting person. He was of the old school, your word is who you are. And that's what he was all about.
In the months before his death, Wilbur is surrounded by caregivers, nurses, lawyers, neighbors, and family members. But it's the person whom he trusts the most that will take full advantage of his confusion and fragility. Navy veteran Wilbur Robinson leaves behind a surprisingly valuable estate, including his suburban home, antique collection, and a treasured Lincoln Continental. Wealth that his immediate family assumes will be passed on to them. The Robinson Family Trust was set up by a Beverly Hills lawyer, Robert Cannon. Wilbur had been a client for several years. At the funeral, Robert Cannon clearly considers himself part of the family. But this feeling is far from reciprocal.
Cannon coming got in the car that we were in, and we were not happy about it. So when he came and we sat down, I wanted to say something, but, you know, I didn't want to start anything. But my son-in-law did tell him, and he got out and got to be the first lady. I'll be very frank with you. I didn't like the man. I didn't trust him. There was something about him that wasn't right. people say I'm a pretty good judge of character. I like people. But if I kind of sense something wrong with you, I don't have anything to say. And he was trying to talk, and I just would not talk.
By 1995, as Wilbur's health started deteriorating, the attorney began to exert more influence over his client's life, including his daily expenses.
I told Rip I didn't trust the lawyer. He said, you don't know what you're talking about. You live in Washington, and I live in California. And that's the way he told me. I should tend to my own business.
Well, they said he's a good man, if they know him. He's been in the Navy. He's a real good man. But what can you say? I mean, he trusted the man, so there was nothing more for me to say.
If I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, I would say, well, look, his sister is elderly, and in Washington State, she is not going to take care of him. The other brother is in Louisiana. He's not taking care of him. We don't know where anybody else is. Who is going to help this man financially? And, you know, it appears that maybe the guy, he must have done some good for him. He did manage his financial affairs. He did probably pay the bills on the house, make sure that taxes were paid, and medical bills, and those kind of things. But that's what you would expect if you're a professional thief.
I knew that things were not right. You know, when his lawyer left town and left no money, and he called me to send him $500 until his lawyer come back.
Wilbur had about 3 or 4 bank accounts. Now, Wilbur wasn't able to go anyplace, but there were so many withdrawals, it didn't make sense. I was concerned about all the withdrawals that were on, not just one, but all 3 of them. He did say, well, Cannon, he called him Cannon. He knows all about it. I even called the bank and asked him. And they said, well, the lawyer, you know, had come down and drawn out money for this and that.
Where you boys at?
Oh my God.
Great court.
A few months before Wilbur's death, Dolores finally summoned Robert
Yo.
Cannon to a meeting with a
Yeah.
social worker.
I just went back.
I heard.
Office the day after I arrived.
Who?
And I was
You
told
said you went back.
Who told you?
Huh?
he showed up for the
Now you want me to snitch like they snitching?
Explanations did not impress Dolores.
meeting about some banks.
No, but I like the consistency.
You on first shift?
Yeah.
So then they come
Nick.
in here and I asked
Yeah, I'm at first.
him on a vacation and left him with no money. He said he left him money. I said, where was it? And he said in the beach. Now I asked Wilbur.
Come on. I bet the book passes.
Pointed it out to me.
Oh, corner.
Hey, you know that's a glitch now,
He opened it.
What is?
where you can ride the helicopter and come in a mascot.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
As the family grew increasingly suspicious,
Yeah, it's a glitch you can do it. I'm getting mine honestly. Fuck all that.
after Wilbur's death,
The helicopter and the where you wear the mascot suit.
And that his sister Elmina was the main person. And that I was getting something too. I said,
Are you wearing your mascot suit right
"Is
now?
that the real
No, I ain't up there yet.
the trust?"
I gotta be a level 2.
Well, I was at my wit's end. I didn't
I'm only a level 1 at
know
50%.
I thought the trust was something.
the difference
Is that you on the bike right there?
a trust,
You know it?
unlike a will, allows for a trustee to handle the estate privately without the supervision of a judge.
No, I just got the lowrider out now.
Can people cruise with you on that?
A few days after the
He said, yeah, I
Nina
did.
returns to Seattle. A package arrives at her home. She is shocked by its contents.
The
A
block.
document stating that she is no longer one of Wilbur's trustees. Apparently, At the very end of his life, Wilbur
That
has
was
given Robert Cannon complete control over his estate.
Come on, motherfuckers.
I just think he's allowed. He's nothing but a thief. That's what he is.
Get your ass up.
Kennedy made himself the executor and had the power of turning everything.
When someone is under duress, it's pretty easy to exert undue influence on them. You know, Wilbur,
They
I've
can't
been
do
here
nothing with your big man in here.
15 years now. You know, I'll make sure everything is done just the way it is. You know, you want to do it. You know, the only thing that's going to change with your trust is that I'm going to be your successor trustee, which means I'm handling everything.
The family members are, in theory, still the beneficiaries of the trust. But as the sole trustee, Cannon legally has the power to sell off Wilbur's assets. A power that can be easily abused.
The bottom line is, it is extremely suspicious when an attorney, an insurance agent, a stockbroker, a CPA injects themselves and makes themselves the successor trustee, because the trustee of a trust is all powerful.
The family finds themselves powerless to intervene. Cannon has full control.
But I imagine gradually, you know, he'd go there to check on the house because there was nobody in the house. And he had a key to the house. So I guess, you know, he'd go over there. I'm assuming they would.
Cannon even has access to Wilbur's locked safe.
You got a squad already, Hilliard?
Wilbur's.
A squad? No.
Which was very powerful.
When you get into things like precious metals, that you just have gold bars or silver bars, antique gun collections, these are all very valuable things, but there's no title to it.
Without title or legal proof of ownership, there's no proof of its value.
So those types of assets, when you're talking about the total inventory value of the estate being $300,000 to $500,000, but a lot was antique gun collections and other types of assets, it's hard to value those things. So that makes something very easy.
Hey, bro, second shift is dead.
It's dead?
As fuck.
For his own uses.
Wilbur's house is promptly sold. His car, his furniture,
Motherfuckers ain't called me back yet.
all disappear.
No.
The
Nope.
proceeds of the sale
I'm cool.
are placed in the trust account.
Shit, they paying me to play my
The
game.
question is, did he start stealing?
I know, but that shit's about to end.
Well,
When it ends, I'll be
but
back.
You don't know that immediately.
It's the end of July.
He gifted himself
Hello?
Hey, honey, I said outside.
Okay.
an antique gun collection and a Lincoln Continental car.
Yeah, I was thinking about going with Lisa now.
When you read the trust document,
No,
it's
to
not
the
gonna
to the
say,
day up
"Hey, I'm giving
at the park.
something
Me and Max will go
attorney
there.
Robert Cannon."
And-
It's going to say,
She's gonna never mind.
Okay.
I'm gifting
Alright.
these things to the successor trustee.
Damn, I gotta quit on these niggas.
Anita is
Huh?
You quitting?
Yeah, cause my niece here and I'm finna
I
go.
wrote him many letters.
Alright,
All
bye.
right, fellas, I'll catch y'all later.
Why would he have this
Alright.
and he never